What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kempel of Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm very excited to introduce to you Stephen Hercy. He's also known as Dr. Fitness USA. He is a body transformation mentor, ergonomic expert, postural alignment specialist. He's zooming in all the way from Southern California. Dr. Fitness, Stephen, thank you for being a guest. Please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your background.
Good morning. I'm originally from Montreal, Canada.
Oh.
I was born into a Jewish family. I had 5 sisters. I was that typical ad that you see of a skinny, nothing type of physique, sitting in the corner reading Charles Atlas comic books, hoping to have a muscular body. So that's where I started from. And from there, I convinced my mother to help me join local gyms. And of course, when you join a gym, they hope to God you never show up again. Year after year, I kept showing up. And when people would see the transformation, they would say, "Oh, you look great, don't get any bigger." And then I would get bigger and more muscular, and the same thing would happen. "Oh, you look great, don't get any bigger." And that's where it all started from. And unfortunately, there were no systems that were geared towards women in Canada, that is, or even in the United States. They were more male oriented, and there was no such thing as a body designer. So if we go back in history, even through Roman times, you'll see I'm the first body designer on the planet.
I love that. And so, as you know, and I'll just let my audience know, I did record with Batista, Dr. Stephen, Dr. Fitness's wife, and we had a really great conversation. And I thought we'd have a part 2. I want to know, as a bodybuilder myself, I'm very much into health and fitness. And you're right. I still get the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, if you keep training, you're going to look like this. And, oh, don't get any big. I mean, I don't get big. I'm natural. But I had the same response, especially as a woman. A lot of women are afraid of weight training. And I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and I'm just like, do you know how much drugs and how much food you'd have to take to get like big and like masculine? But I love this body design formula. Let's talk about that, because I'm so used to like bodybuilding. So tell me about how you came up with that, and how that's different from bodybuilding.
The simple answer is I'm intuitive. So instead of going back into the past or all the things that are going on with the person, when I'm looking at the human body, whether it's male or female, I already have a solution. Okay. So in the bodybuilding world or exercise world, people actually work muscle groups, something for the front of the arm, something for the back, something for the legs. Okay. They don't look at the body like a yoga master. Okay, so you can compare it to somebody that does chiropractic and somebody that does acupuncture. There are different energy systems.
Correct.
So how I like to explain it is that if the carburetor in the house broke down, you could go to Home Depot and replace it, or call the handyman, but an engineer would be able to take it apart and put it back together again. So I'm what we call an engineer for the body. I can look at the body and I can tell how they could be. That's my vision. They don't know how to get there, but I do. So instead of just mixing muscle groups or hitting muscles, there's what we call sequencing: how many reps, how many sets, the logical order, and what the exercise, how it relates to their body structure. Because I'm always looking from taking the body from inside out. I'm looking at structure.
Sure. And so how do you break that down with your clients? So let's say you got someone that's never worked out a day in their life, or they have very little knowledge around fitness, and how do you break that down for them when you take them on?
Oh, that's simple. I create a solution. So let's look at it this way. You go to a personal trainer, he has a script, or it could be a she, okay? So now they're going to the gym and they're working out, and their objective is to work you or motivate you to work out harder than yourself. I sit down and look at the person's body, And I take 5 hours and create an architectural plan of what I want the body to do.
Okay.
So the first step is when they enter a gym, whether we're doing it virtually online or in person, is to know the difference between male and female energy. So one of the things that's important is to elevate their physical body strength. See, so I'm an ergonomic expert, so I can take their body and put it maybe in a angulated leg press, leg low, so to speak,
Yeah.
and increase their strength 20 to 50% in 20 minutes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, I go up to pro bodybuilders and they look at me and I smile at them and I say, well, how would you like me to increase your leg press by 200 to 400 pounds? And they look at me and they go, okay, sure, go for it. And it happens magically.
Sure.
The difference is not only am I increasing their strength, they're much more connected to the exercise. They have much more control with their muscle contraction, where to go, where to stop. And when you start with the legs, it grounds the body. And when it gives the body physical strength, it creates a tremendous effect on your emotions. So I don't have to worry about motivating people. When it comes to women, we hear, I'm not motivated. That's not actually true. What it means is that their emotional strength is stronger than their physical.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens is by increasing their strength, it takes that out of the factor. So when I show a woman that she can do this, the phenomenon is when she actually lifts the weight, she goes quiet. She goes, oh, that feels so good. What I do is I make sure that they understand the movement so they're safe, but I stand completely out of the picture. I don't stand over the person like a personal trainer.
So you don't spot your clients then?
I never spot my clients. There's a safety on the machine. They learn how to put their legs in the right position. Like an example that people don't know is when you're doing a leg press, whether it's angulated or horizontal, go into the gym. Where are the people's feet?
Right.
They're in the middle of the board.
Right.
Or at the top of the board. But that doesn't help women. They need to have more control of their inner thighs. They have to have more control over their knees. And so they're pushing through the back of their stiff legging the exercise and working the back part of their hamstrings and not understanding how to put their body together in a logical strength sequence.
Right. No, it makes me, when I work out, I wouldn't say I'm an old school type of bodybuilder, because I do use a lot of like the newer type of training, as far as hits and stuff like that, and placement, and your ergonomics is very, very important. So I would definitely agree with that. I cringe when I see some people at the gym and what they're doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, because if you don't know how to have good proper form, you're going to injure yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's form, but there's also movement and sequencing.
So talk about the sequencing. Talk to us about the sequencing.
Well, it's the logical order of the body. If you're doing a leg press, that means your body is grounded, right?
Yeah.
So the follow. Okay. What happens is a person does their body, so they train their legs one day, and they do this type of rock and rolling. Your body, it depends what's missing. So if I went up to a male bodybuilder and he was missing, let's say, the back of his arms or his triceps, or if his arms look more impressive, I might say to him, why don't you train your arms every single day? So he'll go, oh, well, I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, if I was you, I'd be training in their sleep. Okay, but there's more to it. You see, the triceps you can train 5 days in a row. The biceps you can only train 3 times because it's a smaller muscle. Sure. So that means you can do your regular training, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of each workout, you can do 1 tricep exercise. That would give you 5 days of tricep. Okay. So another thing is when somebody's doing tricep extension, most of the time they're hitting the side part of their arm.
Right.
But they don't know that the long head that gives you the definition is attached to your bone in the back. So unless you position your elbows in back of your body, you would keep hitting the same muscle. So what's happening for women is they're shortchanging the exercise like guys. They're doing partial movements and they're not really getting the full extent of how their muscles work. So there's a whole education involved. It's pretty cool.
Well, sure. And as we've gotten, you know, so you've been doing this for 40 years, so I'm sure you
Actually longer. I'm 73.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, look at you. Aren't you a hottie?
Yeah, I'm 73. Yeah, that's why I can be a smart ass. You know, I go up to people, you know, they say, well, you get to be my age. Oh, well, how old are you? Oh, 50. Well, wow, you're like a puppy, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, I work with personal trainers and things like that. But all the trainers that I've ever seen, or even the old timers, they're all training the same way. They have no zip or rhythm or music or change of pace. See, so when I'm looking at a person's body, the number, the numerical number could be, they would go into an exercise and they'd only do it 6 reps.
Okay.
But they'd have to be on the next exercise within 2 minutes, else they would lose that strength. So timing and sequencing is very important.
Okay, that's interesting. So for me, my training regimen, I don't like to wait any longer than like 30 to 45 seconds.
That's okay.
Because I think that once you lose that momentum, and I think mind-body connection is so important, if you're making sure everything is connected and you're using, like, because your body is a machine, right? Hey guys, Deanna here. I'm taking a quick break to share an exciting opportunity with you. I have recently partnered with Scotsman. They have created a crowdfunding campaign building 3D printed electric scooters that make transportation smart, elegant, and sustainable. It runs on energy efficient batteries that double as USB-C power banks. And they're swappable too, so you can replace your battery and keep your scooter. Check out their crowdfunding page down below. Hurry and sign up now to take advantage of their early bird prices, 50% off. It has a built-in camera, GPS, live maps, and an automatic lock. So hurry up now, get in on this. Go to my special link below, 50% off, and be a part of this really cool campaign. You won't be disappointed.
I'm going to teach you something.
All right, teach me something. Huh? I love.
Okay, so
that's why.
Okay, so we're on we're on an angulated leg press.
Okay.
And the guy's a pro bodybuilder. He's killing himself, you know. He's got like 7, 8 plates on, and he's huffing and puffing. And I tell him, hey, listen, how many reps you doing? He says, well, I'm doing 8 or 10. Oh, okay. Well, how about we increase your strength like about 50%? They go, what are you talking about? So now I load up the machine of another 400 pounds.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of plates.
Man, I'm not going to give you the secret sauce. I have an ergonomic system that places your back in a strategic curvature so that, okay, let me explain. When you sit on an angulated leg press and you're pressing, what happens is because your butt muscles are round, when you press, the back of your back is going to flatten out. When you flatten out the back, it's going to destroy the strength or the curvature of your back.
Okay.
If you had a support in the middle of your back, it would keep your strength correct. So now I'm going to tell the bodybuilder, I says, okay, so you're doing 10, 12 reps. So listen, you know what I want you to do? I want you to do 8 reps. Oh, don't put the weight down. I just want you to relax.
Okay.
Relax. Then you're going to do another 8 reps. Then you're going to relax. I tell them to relax. That's the opposite. Don't drop your chin down because that cuts oxygen to the brain. Relax. And then you're going to do another 8. Well, what does that give you? It gives you 24 reps.
Right.
The guy does it that way. He does 27 reps. He doesn't want to stop. See? If you think you have to do 10, 12 reps or 15 reps, your body's already tired. But if you break it up into 8, 8, 8, you don't have to put the weight down and relax. Your body will keep going.
Yeah.
So you go into another exercise, you're very strong and very relaxed. You don't have to rush. See, when you have everything is written down. So when you have a map, you can stop for lunch. You can have a good time. You can, when I'm in the gym, it's in the same place. You know, I just stand there. As soon as the guy gets off the machine, I'm going to kill it.
Yeah. So what motivated you to start this body design formula for your clients?
Well, I actually don't call them clients. I call them students.
Okay, students.
Because, well, it's a learning experience. Everybody is a puzzle in a gym, and some people are very ingenious. Sometimes, if I'm working with somebody, they don't need a lot of instruction. I just ask them, "Can you try to do the movement?" And sometimes they're just a natural at it, but they don't know about it.
Yeah.
If you give them too much instruction, then it confuses them. You know. So, another thing is like, okay, this is for some women. You get them to go up in the weight range.
Okay.
So as you do that, you keep adding a little bit more weight.
Right.
And they feel good. Now I take up all the weights and I put a big 45-pound plate on, which is less than what they just did. And they go, "Oh my God, there's a lot of weight on there. I can't do that." You see, psychologically?
Yes.
So you got to be able to encourage them. They're in control of their body. The weight is a factor, but if they know how to place their feet, they know how to put the safety stopper on,
Yeah.
and the angle of the back of the bench is okay. Let's talk about the angle of the bench in Life Fitness or a hammer. No, hammer.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay.
I go into a gym and you have all these professional people. They don't know that the back of the bench, there's a lever that if you put it forward position, it puts your spine at 90 degrees where it's safe. They all have the lever backwards, you know, so they're struggling against resistance. They don't even know how to adjust the machine. It amazes me. It's the same thing with a hammer one-arm row. You'll see they're both feet, and these even for professionals, their both feet are in front. So they have no leverage. When you're doing a hammer a horse, one foot has to be back, one foot has to be forward, like a runner stance. Then you have control. So in general, people just try to kill themselves in the gym. They don't really think a lot, or they emulate other people.
So you teach them how to think.
Yeah, I'm thinking all the time. You know what I mean? What's great about what I do is I get up in the middle of the night. And I'll remember a student. I'll know exactly what the next exercise will be. Now, how did that happen? Because I have a Trello board. That's, you know, that's like the stock market. And I track every single student. I get up in the morning or at night and I say, "What's this person up to? Oh, what's that person up to? They train today. Okay, this. And then I can review what they're doing because we take videos or we get a virtual camera in the gym. And we can tell what's going on. So if somebody's actually coming to me, they're okay. To give you some information, there's 3 things to be successful. Of course, there's more, but one is a healthy mindset.
Yes.
The second thing is environment, and the third is education. The most overlooked aspect is environment.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't usually send people to personal training gyms because they buy knockoff equipment that's very difficult to work on.
Okay.
Today we have $1 million gyms, and there's probably companies you never heard of, but they're in manufacturing and they're out there. The gyms are actually progressing with a sensational type of equipment.
I would agree. I would agree. There's definitely been an improvement on the type of machines that are out there for people to work out on.
Yeah, and you know the younger generation has shifted too. The younger generation is men or women. They're actually going to the gym and doing strength training or bodybuilding, whatever it is they want. But you'll see a young ballet type of girl and she's deadlifting 300 pounds. I didn't tell her to do that, but strength training, because of better environments, have drawn a large segment of youth.
Yeah. Fitness is definitely and has gotten a lot bigger in its reach over the last since I started lifting when I was in high school. I would work out with the football players, and and from there I just progressed and I started competing, and I got certified. I was an aerobics instructor, and I started hitting the gym lifting weights at a very young age, and it was kind of unheard of, and when I was 21, so I'm 44 now, and it was unheard of, oh my gosh, you're gonna get huge, blah, 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 blah. But it's such a fountain of youth, and it helps you with clarity, it helps you with like your emotions, it helps you with stability. I just feel that strength training, body design is so key to your overall well-being.
So when I go in the gym, because I run into youths all the time, it's pretty amazing. They have fantastic strength. And I always approach them. I say, well, why you do the exercise that way? And then I say, well, let me show you how to do the exercise. You know what I mean? So an example would be, you have a young guy. Well, there's women too. There's two things that happen. One is there's a young guy, he comes in and he wants to build his body. So first of all, he starts off with his friends, and then his body gets lopsided because he's doing everything he's not supposed to. And then the next thing I know, that would happen this week, where there's a bodybuilder. I mean, it's obvious that he has muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not aesthetic like I would be interested in, but it's obvious we don't know what he's doing, but he's accomplished.
Sure.
So now the little guy goes up, and the next thing I know, he's personal training 3 or 4 guys, and they're all skinny.
Okay.
Okay. So the young guy doesn't understand. He has to have a business plan to approach the property. So where I'm going is the tall bodybuilder is working with them. So the first exercise he's giving this guy that actually wants to be built is a cable bicep curl.
Okay.
So I'm looking across and I'm thinking to myself, now, why are you doing a cable bicep curl? It's a nothing exercise. It's absolutely a zero exercise. So the personal trainer says, come on, let's do it, 15 reps. Now, why are you doing 15 reps? You're almost working the endurance part of the muscle. So you wouldn't want to do 15 reps. So let's say he's doing 50. Then he's doing tricep extension. So the problem is he's doing 50 on this side, which is absolutely worthless. Okay, when he could be doing a barbell curl with 95 pounds. And then he's going to the tricep extension and he's doing 30. Well, the tricep is 3/4 of the arm. So if he's doing 50 on the bicep, he ought to be doing 70 or 90 on the tricep.
Really? So that's how it should be.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know how to do it properly.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of things that go in. And then the other thing I see is women love this. They lie back on a bench and they do hip thrusts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm seeing young girls doing 300 or 400 pounds. Now, why would a woman want to do that hip thrust? We guys have a hard enough time dealing with women in a certain situation. I mean, well, it's funny, but just look at a wrestler. If a guy lied on top of a woman and she did this, he'd go flying off. Can you imagine in an intimate situation what would happen? Women have naturally strong hips and legs. They don't have to do that much. They actually have round butts when you're younger. That what they need to do is to work more on their upper body and stretch it.
Yeah.
So they have a different landscape. So there's a lot of funny things going on in the gym.
I would agree. With that being said, if someone wanted to reach out to you because they like your philosophy and how you go about helping your students, how can they find you? What are your links that they can reach, where they can reach?
Well, they would go to Dr. Fitness you have to put USA, drfitnessusa.com, and there's a way to send me an email or ask to have a conversation with me.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. So I will put all the links in the body, the description.
Yeah, because it's your show. If somebody wants to have a conversation with me, then we can do a consultation. And there's no charge.
Awesome. That's really great. That's great to let them know. Is there any final words that you'd like to leave the audience with before we wrap things up?
Well, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA, the company, between myself and Batista, can help you achieve it. And that's it.
Boom. Yes. If you can believe it, if you can dream it, you believe it, you can achieve it. I love it. All of it. That's so fantastic. Well, thank you, Stephen, Dr. Fitness USA, for being a guest today. I really appreciate all your valuable information. You're very knowledgeable. I enjoyed the conversation. I learned some stuff, so that's always good. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Kumpel with Label Free Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.